Good morning everybody, it's 8 a.m. here on Mykonos, it's a Greek island. I'll show you my day as well as share some achievements and insights that happened to me throughout recent months. For those who don't know, my name is Oleg. I'm a 23-year-old guy working in finance, more specifically in algorithmic trading. Let's go! Just finished a little bit of stretching. Before that I took a contrast shower, alternating warm and cold water for a couple times. Now I'm feeling ready, alert, awake, and I wanna walk you through some of the achievements that I got in the recent months. The main three areas are English, finance and biohacking. So let's start with English. For me, one of the main themes in my life recently is to become a fully international person, to be able to speak in English fluently, to persuade people, to lead people, to become a public speaker. And for that I started to dedicate a lot of time developing this skill. There are three parts to this process: working with a tutor, reading a lot in English, and also taking TOEFL exam. So I hired a native speaker tutor from Los Angeles. We started practicing, preparing for TOEFL exam, learning grammar, practicing speaking skills. And it was such an exhilarating experience because for the first time in my life I was able to question every tiny aspect, digging so deep in very detailed parts of the language. The second part is reading. I just read a lot of books in English, listening to audiobooks, some business topics, self-development and stuff. The final part here was to take TOEFL exam. It's the main English exam in the world. I scored 107 out of 120. It's C1, which means proficient. For me, it's absolutely good enough. And after that, I will be developing only skills related to speech and accent. So soft things about this language. So we had our breakfast. We have something relatively healthy here. Some overnight oats, some meat. And about this experience with a tutor, one of the insights is that you really want to make him your friend. Before that, I had an experience with a psychologist, and she really was a friend of mine. I was able to share anything about my life with her. For that reason, it was such a desired experience for me. I really was waiting to meet with her and to tell about what happened to me throughout the week and to get this very deep and meaningful feedback of her. Here with this English tutor, it was not the case at all. Like, we were absolutely different and we didn't manage to build this deep connection. I think that she wasn't really interested in it. That's why this experience wasn't so great. It wasn't so desired for me. I understand that English is more like hard skill and you're not really waiting similar experience as with psychologists. But if you can build it, this friendship, then do it. Feeling rested, energetic. Let's go. We made it to an absolutely stunning place. Enjoying the views like that, I feel that sometimes I miss nature so much while living in a big city like Amsterdam. I want to share with you one idea. One guy recently shared with me his views about the meaning of life, and he said it as a very simple formula: just being useful to other people. This point, in my opinion, is actually quite good, because to be useful, you kinda have to be focused on other people. That's why you're not focused on yourself, which is good. But also, you have to be slightly focused on yourself, because to be useful, to help other people, you have to possess something first. Maybe it's some skills, maybe value, maybe just free time, whatever. Everyone, in my opinion, feels a little bit better about themselves when they help other people. Another thing that I was working on during recent months was personal finance. When I read a book called Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet-David, I immediately realized that I was overspending. My spending habits were not aligned with my internal values. To tackle this issue, I did two things. First, I started tracking my spendings on the spreadsheet. And second, I read a book called Psychology of Money. By tracking my spendings, I managed to reduce my spendings in the next month by 25%. And I cannot express how valuable was that in terms of your free space in your mind. Like you're really feeling, you know, without any bounds, that you're completely safe and you have this space for risk. Another thing was Psychology of Money. That's a book about spending, how you should think to have your finances solid. The interesting part is that there's a lot of people who are working in trading like me. For example, they can work on Wall Street. And yes, they might be smart about the trading strategies, but also they are not really smart about how they spend money. And that is a completely different thing, related mostly to psychology. That's why that was a gem for me. The third thing that I was working on was biohacking. There are 3 components to it. First, I took a course inside of the Capital Club made by Nate Belmar. This guy is really into this topic. The second thing was me taking the full health checkup. And third was journaling my workouts in the gym. So this biohacking course inside of the Capital Club provided me the first keys about how can I cognitively optimize, how can I optimize my physical performance. It was very insightful, for instance, that you really want to build some muscle tissue while you're young, because it will help you when you will be old. It will protect you from obesity, because muscle tissue will consume a lot of energy. And second, it will protect you from cuts. So you have this skeleton that sustains you, you know. After that, full health checkup. Yes, I took it, like blood tests, many other stuff. It costed around 700 euros, but also it didn't provide any good clues to me. Like it said to me that, oh, you have like every indicator in some normal range. I don't understand how can I optimize it better. I have to consult with a professional expert. I didn't do that, but I want to. And the final thing was journaling my workouts. I'm kinda for a very long time in this game of walking to the gym, training, but for me it was kind of random in terms of what was my actual progress. Like I really did that just to feel better physically, but not to develop my muscles better. I was kind of stagnating, I would say, like a couple of recent years. Now I started tracking it and I started being really focused on the proper technique. And it also like sparked a new level of desire for this process. I'm really going on every workout with the feeling that, oh shit, I really love develop myself. This sense of progress, you know. And also I started training using the Chris Evans workout program, one of his programs that he used to prepare for the Captain America movie. Like, who don't want to be like him, you know? Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. I was reading a book called 5 Levels of Leadership, definitely worth the read. That was my day. Thank you so much for spending it with me. And at the end, I want to ask you for one simple favor. Share in the comments down below one thing that you have developed yourself in throughout the recent 3 months. Even a couple of words would be absolutely enough. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!